In this video, we're going to talk about how to use the linear regression functionality of the TI-84 to find a function rule. So when we're in algebra class, this is a typical problem that you might see where I'm going to give you a list of x values or domain values and a list of y values or the range values, and I'm going to ask you to figure out what the rule is for this function. So in other words, we need to figure out when we put in x, how does this y come out? What's happening to this x when we put it on to get out the y? Sometimes you can figure out what's going on just by looking at the pattern. So if we look at this, what's happening each time we go up 1 with our y values? And if we look at our x's, what's happening over here with our inputs? We're getting plus 4. Okay, so our y's are growing much more slowly than our x's. Now, some of you might be able to look at this pattern and figure out the rule. The rule is going to be our y equals. So we want to know how to get out y, what's happening when we put an x value in. All right, if you have trouble figuring out what the pattern is and thinking of the rule, your calculator can help you with this. So here's how you're going to have your calculator help you. You're going to use statistics and you're going to treat your x values as your list 1. So we're going to put all of these guys into list 1 and we're going to put all of the y values into list 2. Okay? And we're going to see if there's a pattern that the calculator can help us see. So we're going to go to Stat, we're going to go to Edit. Remember, if there's stuff in your list 2, arrow up, hit Clear, Enter. Don't hit Delete. Arrow up, hit Clear, Enter, and put in your new data points. Once you have your list 1 populated, go ahead and put in the data points for your list 2 or your y values. Make sure you get the correct pairs. Because these are ordered pairs or points that go together, you need to make sure the -3 goes with the 0 and so forth. Okay, once you have your statistics or your data into your calculator, you want to see if there's a pattern. Now, there should be a pattern because I'm asking you for a rule. Generally, when we do this with a calculator, we want to look at the scatter plot for these points. To make your scatter plot, you go to second, Stat Plot. You make sure your plot 1 is on, so we're going to turn that on. We're going to make sure it's making a scatter plot for us with our list 1 and our list 2 data. And then we can hit Zoom 9 to look at those data points. These data points are clearly linear. Okay, a straight line should match this pattern completely. So we're going to go back to Stat, Calculate, and have our calculator calculate the line of regression, which is choice number 4. If we hit Enter, we're going to see that our calculator tells us the rule for this is 0.25x minus 3. So when it does this ax plus b and it tells you a is 0.25, that's the same as 1/4, and it tells us that b is -3, we're going to write the rule like this: y equals 1/4 times the x value plus a -3, which is the same as -3. This is your answer. Okay? Don't write down this, which is what the calculator spits out. Make sure you plug in the values for your A and your B and give this final equation as your answer. I hope this helped. Always try to figure out this rule without the calculator. Only use the calculator as a last resort.